Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while. I've been really busy at work lately. I had a bunch of travel going on and some key events happening at work. So anyways, we're going to get started here with a great software update. I also have a 20,000 mile review coming up here. I'm looking forward to that. Going to walk through a lot of the details and some of the areas where the car just isn't doing as well as I expected. But for today, let's do one of the best things about Teslas here, which is the software updates. This is one of the things that we all really love about Tesla. For those of you that are new to the channel, I want to let you know that this is a 2021 Model S long range version with the updated version and the yoke steering wheel. So let's go ahead and get started here. So the first couple actually is around full self-driving. And there's been a lot of enhancements here. For any of you that currently have a Tesla and have been playing around with full self-driving, you probably have already seen these updates. But for those of you that are looking into getting a new Tesla, the full self-driving does work really well. However, it's kind of always a project in the works, and there's always new additions whenever there is a software update. I'm also very happy to get it as it's improving more and more. I do have a couple videos on my channel where I've tested the full self-driving, so feel free to look at those. I'll put the links below for any of you that want to see them. So in this update, there's just some refinements going on with the full self-driving. You'll be able to see all the differences here in the notes here, but just talks about how it understands the traffic lights better. It also does slow down a little bit easier on you. Before, the full self-driving would just stop suddenly if it saw a stop sign or a red light. Now it will ease into that stop a little bit better, especially if you're the first car, there's no car in front of you at the stoplight or the stop sign. It will slow down and be a little more gentle around that. It's got some more improvements with just the overall positioning in the lane itself, as well as the way it handles corners and goes around different curves within the full self-driving. So some really good stuff. Lane changes, it handles that a bit better now. So just constant improvements that are going. You know, it says turns are a little bit smoother and less jerky. I know for myself, when I've used the full self-driving, especially if it can't see everything or it's raining outside, it's a bit jerky in turns, especially if you're doing a U-turn or you're doing a roundabout. It does have a little more challenges with those types of things that are around there. It's improved its accuracy when it comes to speed limits and detecting speed limits. This is also, I notice, helpful when I'm on a 35 mile an hour road and all of a sudden it jumps up to 45 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour. It's going to go into that smoother, make it a little bit easier on you, things like that are really nice to have. So just overall improved driving behavior. It also made some improvement in how it sees parked cars on the road when you're driving past them, things like that can be helpful as well for people that are using the full self-driving. Text blurbs, warnings, similar to notifications, just informing you about certain things. Adjustment and suspension that you'll see coming up here as well. So it handles the adjustment and suspension if you are running into a number of big bumps and things like that. And they've reduced what they call their false offsettings around objects in wide lanes or near intersections, things like that just they've improved their overall kinetics and modeling within the AI itself. So these are all just overall improvements. One of the other amazing things is that Tesla did a recall. And it was kind of funny because I scheduled an appointment in the app to bring the car in for a recall, but as it turns out, they did it over the air. So it was kind of funny. I scheduled an appointment. I got to the Tesla dealer and they basically said, oh, well, you don't need to bring the car in. We are actually doing this recall over air. So just something to think about for Tesla, to kind of warn people about, more so they're not booking appointments, especially if you can select in the app why you're coming in. If it's a specific recall, maybe they can text you back and ask you why. Things like that might improve that service department. I know Tesla, has been rolling out a number of new cars, and they need to get a little bit better at their service model. So, but quite a few things here. This is the over-the-air recall that they talk about in more detail. The other thing is there's some improvements in the suspension and how the car handles the bumps when in full self-driving. Now, another thing that some of you may or may not know, up above here, right above the actual rear view mirror, there's a camera there. A lot of people have been wondering, why is that camera there? Are they spying on us? I actually did a video on that. But in this case, one of the reasons they have this here now is to actually watch any kind of unfocused time while you're in autopilot. So this could mean that you look at your cell phone. It could mean that you don't have both hands on the wheel. It could mean all kinds of things. I myself have an older Tesla Model X 2016 that has autopilot, but it's the older, much older version of autopilot, and there's no camera in the car. I use that autopilot when I'm in stop and go traffic. It works really, really well. But one of the things that I do sometimes is when I'm in stop and go traffic going 15 miles an hour, stop, 3 miles an hour, stop again, 5 miles an hour, stop again, 10 miles an hour, stop again, maybe 15 miles an hour. That kind of situation when you're sitting there for 40 minutes, in those situations, I'll pick up my phone and look at my email. The autopilot works amazing in those situations. So I'll look at my email on my phone. Now I can't do that. These cameras detect you looking at your phone, and it will give you that beep alert like you've taken your hands off the steering wheel. And if you get more than 5 unfocused alerts, or you break the autopilot because of forced breaking out of the autopilot, Tesla will remove the autopilot. I actually don't know how to engage it, but to let you all know, I've already gotten one of those 5 warnings because of this. So it's something to really pay close attention to. And you can't look at your email when you're on the phone. I know that sounds a bit crazy. We should all know that. But for years in my Model X 2016 with the original autopilot in that stop and go traffic, less than 20 miles an hour, I've been looking at my email, believe it or not, and it's worked out great. So anyways, you can't do that anymore. You can also get analytics. You can also see the camera directly from the app now. So I'm going to try to do a clip here for you guys to see this. This is the mobile app where you now have the capability of clicking into Sentry mode and seeing multiple angles of the camera here. So let's go ahead and tap into here. As it's loading, you can see the front of the car through the live camera. You can see the bushes moving around, slightly delayed video. You have the rear of the camera here. You also have the side of the camera, the other side of the camera, and most importantly now, the interior part of the cabin. So while you're in dog mode, this can be really, really helpful. So you can take a look at the dog, see how everything's going on with the dog, and not have any challenges at all by being able to view all that detail within the Sentry mode. Okay, so as you can tell, you can see the camera live on your phone directly on the screen, so it makes it really easy to see what's going on. There's some other things that they'll allow you to do here. When the car is parked, you can actually see that, and analytics can actually go back to Tesla, so that Tesla has the ability to improve what's going on in the car and everything like that, if you want to share that. I've actually decided not to share that. To me, that's a little too personal data. with whatever me and my family are doing in the car. So I decided not to share that back, at least through the camera. I do share back other autopilot information back, so hopefully Tesla can improve how autopilot works in general. Another one is Apple Music that's fully integrated in now, so you can go through the toolbox in the entertainment section and pull your Apple Music in. For me, I don't really use Apple Music. I use Spotify, so I'm already set up, and that's pretty nice to have. Another thing that's kind of exciting, would have been really good during the pandemic, is now Zoom integration. So it actually uses the camera here against the rear view mirror and allows you to see, people can see you on that camera, and then you can see everyone else on the main screen here while you're in a Zoom meeting. But apparently it integrates very nicely through the app on Zoom. I haven't tried this yet, but please put any comments below if you've actually tried this. Let us know how well this works for you. Dog mode. So many of you know that I recently have a dog. Our dog's now about 4 months old. We got the dog about 2 months old. I have a couple videos on a short road trip to pick up the dog and see the dog before we got the dog. Anyways, dog mode now has the capability of, again, seeing what's going on in the car through that camera above the rear view mirror, where you can see your dog through the camera. This is all done through the mobile app. So that's something that you saw just previously in this video, but it does make a big improvement there to be able to see what's going on with the dog. Me and my family have been on a couple road trips with the dog, and we've put the car in dog mode. It's brilliant. I love this feature. I don't know any other cars that have a dog mode feature. If you guys know any other EVs that have a dog mode feature, please let me know in the comments below. But for me, I'm pretty excited about this because it works out for us and our family right now really well. Scheduled light show. So this is pretty exciting. I'll do another video on this, but you can schedule a light show to take place with your car. This is where the headlights and the side lights and the markers are all giving you an exciting light show. So that's pretty neat to see. Rear screen controls. This is actually really helpful for me and my kids. For any of you that have kids in the rear of the car, you can control all kinds of things now directly with the panel in the rear of the car. This is for the backseat panel. I can control everything on this main screen for that panel, which is really nice. So if you don't want your kids to use it or interrupt what you're doing, you can control that. If they're too young, you can control the main controls there. My kids are a little bit older now, so this is not necessarily needed, but for younger kids, I can see this being really, really helpful to have. Climate control and fan speed. So this is interesting. I'll just show you guys this one real quick. Now, instead of just a number for the fan speed, you can use medium, or you can select high, or you can select low, and it's going to adjust the fan speed rather than just being a movement bar. It'll just give you a quick, simple adjustment there. This is a different type of garage technology and garage controlled called MyQ. I don't need this. My garage door openers work with the default controllers. For those of you that don't have a Tesla, this is a great feature to have. What happens is the car is actually geo-fenced around your house. So as you pull into your driveway, through satellite detection, it understands that you're in front of the garage, and it will begin to open the garage door. When you leave the house, it will automatically close the garage door. Of course, you can override that and use the manual controls as well, but you can use this for going into your house. I love this feature. It's great. I have another car too where I'm still using the remote because it's an older car, and I have a newer Porsche also that doesn't have the geo-fenced capability, but I can click the main screen on the car, and it will actually open and shut the doors as well. But it's nice having the geo-fence capability. Okay, so new video game here for those of you that are playing video games in the car. So this is pretty exciting. This one here, the Bluetooth gaming controllers, this is something my son's going to be thrilled about. So Tesla promised this when this car first got released back in 2021. And it's something that my son and I tried to gear up. We couldn't get it to work. So now it does work. It says it works best with PS5 controllers. So that's something I may invest in. I'll probably do a separate video on this so you guys can see how all that works. But this is pretty exciting to have this capability. Confirm phone call transfers. This is also really helpful. Let me describe how this works. So a lot of times I'll be on my phone, my iPhone. I have the AirPods Pro on my phone. I'm walking out of the office down to the parking lot to my car, which is only like a 5-minute walk, but you're in the middle of a call, a Teams call, or what have you. The moment I get into the car and the car detects the phone, it will ask if I want to transfer it to the main audio system in the car. It'll actually pop up on the screen here asking me if I want to transfer it, as opposed to just automatically doing it. That's what Tesla did before. It would just automatically switch it over and not ask me to transfer it. Sometimes I enjoyed that. Sometimes I really hated that because I was in the middle of something, or I was in the garage and my wife was pulling out with the car and it automatically transferred over automatically because of Bluetooth. Now you're going to get an indicator that will allow you to hit a button and actually accept that transfer. So this small feature, very, very welcomed for me, something that I will use all the time. So that's something that's really, really great. Contact lookup. So this allows you to look up contacts directly connected with the Bluetooth, and then just provides a better synchronization. So on the Model S, you have door handles that come out of the car. And as you start walking up to it and the car detects your Bluetooth signal, the door handles will pop out and then present themselves to you so that you can grab the door handle and open it up. Now you can disable that. So it does give you that capability of controlling these and disabling it. All right, this is kind of funny. Emission, this is a total Elon feature, but this is the emissions testing mode, can now be used from the mobile app. But what this really is a fart sound. So it's kind of funny, and it gets extended through the external speaker of the car. So you guys know those situations that happen every once in a while when you're standing outside the car, talking with a friend or talking with people. Maybe you just came out of a work lunch, or you're dropping off something at a friend's house or what have you, and you're chatting outside the car, and you haven't gotten in the car yet, but you're just chatting there. You can pull out your app and inadvertently or on purpose actually click a button, and then the car will make fart sounds and a couple other things that you have the capability of customizing. So kind of funny, but fully capable now of doing that. So for any of you that are interested in doing that, let it happen. Go for it. So not really my thing, but I think it's kind of funny. It goes along with that Elon Musk humor. Maybe I'll try it out once or twice with some of my guy friends that would also think that's pretty funny. So anyways, always rainbows. This is the last feature, but this is when I'm in autopilot mode, you can put it in always rainbow, and that way the middle lane here, as you can see here, will be rainbow effect while you're driving. So kind of cool, kind of fun. But again, that's kind of the overall big software update. There's some really good things. I look forward to really seeing how these full self-driving items work. The cabin camera, not really a big thing for me. I do like the cabin camera when it comes to the dog mode. So I know that we will use that quite a bit if we're on a road trip and we need to leave the dog in the car for 20 minutes. The good thing about dog mode is it's going to keep the car cool. So the air conditioning can kick on and keep the dog in a healthy situation. But now you can check on the dog through that camera itself, which is really nice. The light show will be pretty fun. The rear screen control, something that I don't really need, but I can see that being a big benefit, especially when my kids were around 5, 6 years old, 7 years old. Definitely worth that feature by far. The game controllers I know are going to be really big for my son. I may try the Zoom meeting. That could be really good. Mostly use Zoom for non-work items, but if I'm, talking with my mom who lives out of state, or I'm talking with friends that live in Europe, I can use that Zoom feature. Would be kind of cool if I need to while I'm in the car. So that's kind of nice to have that. For those of you that have the MyQ Garage connector, that's going to be a big benefit. So those are great things. And this confirm phone call transfer, a small little feature. But here's the thing, the small little features are the things that really make a big difference. And for me, it's huge because of the way I go in and out of work, or the way I step out of a meeting and I got to jump on a quick call and I'm on my AirPods and I need to switch it to the car, or I don't want it to switch it to the car, things like that. So for me, that's huge. That's huge. The auto present door handles, not too big of a deal. This I can see while I'm at home deactivating this because I don't really need it. The emissions testing mode, it's funny, it's an Elon feature for sure, something I probably won't use a whole lot. And the rainbow thing, I'm probably not going to use either. Anyways, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys liked the video. I have a big new video coming up, a full exterior review of a 20,000 mile road. We are just at 20,000 miles now. I'll do an interior review as well on the 20,000 mile review also. So we'll do two main videos for the 20,000 mile review. I want to try to keep my videos for less than 30 minutes. Otherwise they become too long for you guys. So anyways, we'll do two of those. We have, we're also going to do something on the game controllers and a few other updates that are happening. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you guys have any questions at all, please put it in the comments below. Also, please give me a thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it. Trying to get our views back up. I know I need to produce more videos and get those out there, so that's on me. But please add your like, your comments, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great weekend.